Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today is Sunday, so you know what that means. We're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance, and we have a lot to get to on the docket for today. Of course, we have Wells Fargo picking up a new transfer partner in their quest to be great again. We have PayPal killing off a card, and of course, we have Citi potentially going exclusive with American Airlines and talking about killing off cards. We have American Express with 3 cards that are right now at least MIA from the lineup in the everyday line and the cash magnate. So, of course, we will talk about and speculate on what that could mean for American Express as well. So, of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, batting leadoff with a story that technically we're late on, but it's probably still worth covering very quickly, and that is PayPal's business credit card. Of course, PayPal issues 2 cards, personal and a business. Well, now they're back down to 1 because the business card has been taken out of service. Here's the statement from them. Since this already happened, we're not going to spend too much time on it. But again, you can see this was effective September 23rd. The cards will be closed. Of course, you'd be still responsible for the balances and things like that, but they're just going to stop working. And they're not even transitioning them anywhere. The card is just done. Again, that was the PayPal Business Cashback MasterCard. No love lost there because it was never really that good of a card. The personal card at least got your 3 back on PayPal. The business card didn't touch that. I think it was a classic 2% back, which, if you're an actual business, I can see you probably being upset about this, but I can't just imagine the card was that popular because it's getting killed. So moving right along, 2 cards are a card line that's consistently been here for the long haul, yet sometimes trying to get killed, like PayPal, is the Chase OG Freedom cards. This story pops up every so often. That is, folks who have OG Freedom cards, Chase sometimes goes and starts sending out letters that they are going to upgrade their card to a Freedom Unlimited card. And of course, people don't like that because, again, it's not, in the eyes of Chase, I guess technically the Freedom Unlimited, the newish version, is still better than just 5A. You've got, more stuff on it, but again, it's not really an upgrade because most people, like myself, still has 2 OG Freedoms, want it for the 5% category. So they're sending out another round of these letters, more so just be aware of that. So, if this does happen to you, from everything I've told you, can phone in and you can go like, hey, no, don't do that, and they'll leave it alone. Or you could just say, hey, move it to a Freedom Flex. This only seems to be happening to the OG Freedoms, which makes sense because I don't know how long they really want to support the OG product line. I believe, I would guess the reason they just don't flip everyone from OGs to Freedom Flexes is primarily because of the Visa to MasterCard thing, and that would probably cause a lot of questions and stuff, hence why you probably go from OG Freedom, which is a Visa, to the Freedom Unlimited, which is a Visa as well. I think it would just probably cause too many questions for the average person. That's why they don't. Me, we've seen this story so much, like I am kind of debating just phoning up and being like, hey, can you just swap these last 2 OG Freedoms to Freedom Flexes? I already have 3 Freedom Flexes, just make it an even 5. Because technically the Freedom Flex is a better card, and I have so many now that I'm not going to be canceling or swapping 5 just to get one more Freedom Flex in 10 years when I'm back under 524, right? Plus, they can kind of come in handy because sometimes the 5X categories do stack. Like this time around, it is with it being Mickey D's, that'd be 7X back on a Freedom. So, on a Freedom Flex, sorry. So, and then, anyways, just be aware if you have some OG Freedoms that keep your eye on the mailbox. They do send out letters right before they do this, and then pick up the phone, and because no one really wants a Freedom Unlimited, do they? Anyhow, there you go. So, card changing aside, now we have someone who's potentially going exclusive, which is nice. Update the Facebook status, I guess, if people still use Facebook. I haven't had an account in like 20 years. But anyhow, Citi and American Airlines, they're the more popular issue of the American Airlines cards, but you may or may not be aware that Barclays also has a line of American Airlines cards. This was in large part due to a merger when American bought like United Airways or somebody back in the day. And I didn't actually know that, but it turns out Citi actually had the chance to go exclusive way back then, and they would just get the whole portfolio, which would have made American an actual transfer partner of Citi's as well, which is kind of what people have wanted. American's kind of the weird partner out there that they've got a credit card deal, but they don't necessarily have, a transfer partner. They did have Citi for a little bit, but that was a promotional offer, and it kind of went away. But again, Citi, according to the report here, we first found this on TPG, that Citi they thought it was too rich for their blood. They didn't, I'm sorry, CNBC is where we got this from first. Citi just thought it was too much. They didn't want to pay it, so they kept the deal split. So now it looks like they're American and them are interested in going exclusive, it would see Citi basically buying out Barclays and taking on the whole portfolio, and again making them a transfer partner. Now I would imagine, again, I'm still equating everyone in the travel card, the airline card line, is saying, hey, look, we saw how much money Delta and those guys, Delta and American Express, make. We want in on that. Having a fractured lineup isn't really helping us that much. Having someone without not having a transfer partnership probably isn't helping that much. Let's bring it exclusive. I would imagine this is going to cost Citi a little bit to do, but I think it's probably the right move. All the other major carriers are spoken for, right? And you're looking at Chase has two of them in United and Southwest. Of course, American Express has Delta. So yeah, you might as well lock down the last major one. Of course, there are plenty other airlines open, as we're going to see in a second in the next Wells Fargo story. But I think this would be a good move for Citi. I think it's going to be expensive, but I don't know, does it really matter? Probably not. I'm sure they can afford it. We're the third or fourth largest bank. I think this would overall be good. I don't believe you're going to see changes to the credit cards. They did refresh the Citi, was the American Airlines executive card, at least a while back. So I don't think it's going to be some mass change. I think you could maybe see a new product in the lower tiers come out of this, because you'll probably take the Barclays ones, merge them over. Again, they're buying the portfolio, so you either try to product match them as close as possible, and you could maybe see another card entered in there. I think the Chase United ones is good to look at, because they've got 5 different options on the personal. I mean, they've got a lot of options. So you could see one more card, but I don't think it's going to be a massive refresh. I think the main thing is just going to be pulling them over, and now Citi points will be used for American. Again, a lot still has to happen for this to happen, but I think overall it's good. I think it will make people happy. It's what they've been wanted, and it does strengthen thank you points a little bit. Not necessarily from a value perspective, but a functionality perspective, perhaps. I think, because I've never really seen Citi as a travel player. This has the potential to change that. Again, I don't really fly American being out of a Delta hub, but again, it's very popular for a reason. So there you go. Someone else looking to catch a flight on points is Wells Fargo. Now, if you remember, I'm probably the highest person on Wells Fargo on the internet right now, and that's okay. I don't think I'm wrong, and you can't convince me I am. But they are helping prove my point, more or less, depending on how you feel about Virgin, because they are adding Virgin as a transfer partner. Now, this is, overall, it's good, because the pushback on their push into travel was the transfer partners. So they're going to add not only Virgin Red and Virgin Atlantic Flying Club, no Virgin Galactic, sadly, but again, this comes to us from TPG. Points are going to transfer to 1-to-1 ratios, which you like to see, and there's going to be no minimum transfer amount required as well. So I do think, because underneath the Virgin brand, you have a lot of options there. I think that's pretty good. I mean, I know they've got, people like you can fly, cruises, they've got hotels, all that stuff, good stuff. Again, no Virgin Galactic, but hey, we can only get so much, I guess. So, I think it's good. All the major legacy carriers are spoken for them. They're not going to give up their deals. So I think, they've got to be creative in who else they add. I think this adds, again, some more functionality to their points. It's probably a more helpful transfer partner for I'll say the mainstream folks, the average folks who really just want to transfer to an easy place. Not I want to move it to here, then here to here, like some of the travel wars out there will. So overall, I think it's a good pickup for Wells Fargo. Again, let me know down below what you think. If you've ever flown these guys, I haven't. Their stuff always looks cool though. They do try, at least from the experience and everything. So let me know what you think. But overall, Wells Fargo, again, we said give them about a year or so to see what they can do and build out their program. And, at least I like stories that help prove my argument. And so I'm biased on this one, but there you go. Now, on to American Express. American Express has, told us time and time again they're going to refresh about 40 products. Of course, that's internationally, but no one cares about a place they don't live. So we only care about these cards here in the States. And we've seen a lot of refreshes, and we speculated on a lot of refreshes. We saw the card art change on the everyday line from like the clear plasticky stuff to, the Centurion and guy in white that really matched, the everyday cash line. I thought it looked decent, actually. That's made for design language, and continuity flow didn't make a lot of sense. And then all of a sudden, the everyday line just disappeared from the product page. Now, I've heard from a few folks who said that, hey, they've chatted American Express reps and say those cards are gone for good, they're not coming back. I mean, I believe every person who's reached out to me told me this. I don't know that I think frontline customer service knows the full scope of it. They'll probably say yes, in the most sincere sense, the cards are not on the website, so they're not coming back. Buy something else. That's probably my take on it. So what are we talking about? The everyday line the MR earning cards, not the cashback line. So the MR ones and then the cash magnate card are gone. And I'll put them on screen for you. And, as it stands right now, I kind of say, whatever, who cares? Because the cash magnate card is 1.5x on all purchases, or was. Uh, this table minimum is 2%. I know you're going to tell me that Freedom Unlimited that we talked about earlier is also 1.5. But yeah, it gives you more things and it's meant to be in the ecosystem. This is just 1.5. Not great, not competitive, hasn't been competitive in probably a decade. Everyday line, also a disgrace in my opinion. The free one, 2x back on supermarkets, but your 2x back on supermarkets was capped at $6,000 a year. Makes absolutely positively no sense when things like the double cash, active cash exist out there. Sure, you're earning MR points, which, yes, you can get into a little bit more value and stuff, but again, a cap for 2x back? Come on. Seems silly. And of course, the big boy card was the Everyday Preferred, which cost $95 and had a cap of $6,000 at supermarkets as well, earning 3% back in MR points, 2x back on gas stations. So overall, look, these cards were not super competitive in the least bit. So I think it's fine. I mean, there's no real loss there. I know there's some of you out there who are going to yell at me and argue because you liked them and you had use cases for them. For you, I understand. I haven't seen anyone says they're killing the cards if you have them. I haven't seen that yet. But if you have the card, you've received something, let us know. But I haven't seen that. Well, you could do two paths. On one path, they could just be gone for good, never to be replaced. Also possible. I don't think that. I think they are gone, but I do think they're going to come back. I don't know why you would have re-upped the card art for the everyday line if you weren't going to do anything with it. That doesn't make a ton of sense. I really just think they're in dire need of refresh. And, I think Citi, not that these card companies are sharing playbooks and whatnot, are reacting to one another so quickly, but we've had Citi bankers tell us, the Strata Premier is performing for them, and in sales wise, even though it's the same exact card as the regular Citi Premier was. And people here is like, well, yeah, because it brought back travel insurance. I assure you, a regular person applying in branch, buying a card from a banker isn't swayed by travel insurance to pay $95 for a credit card. We notice it. The average person does not. It's a brand new to the world. You can say it's a brand new card design, new posters, the whole deal, right? We get it. And that's fine. So I probably think that's what they're going to do with the everyday line. I can't imagine that you want to have no free cards in the MR earning line. As we've said time and time again, American Express confuses me with how they try to cross-sell deposit accounts, right? They're the only one that says, hey, no, you have to have a credit card first, and then we'll give you a checking account. That seems weird. To me, always has. But, it seems like a hard sell to say our cheapest MR personal card starts at $150 in the green card, and they're all basically travel and transit focused. So I do think we're going to see the everyday come back. I don't think the everyday was a bad idea. I just pushed back on them because $95 is ridiculous for a card cap like that when you can get a lot of this stuff, for all of that stuff actually for free elsewhere. So I do think they need a complete rework. I think the cards were so bad that I agree to just scrap them and come back with something. You could even bring back the name. Maybe you change the name to kind of fit them into the Centurion line again. If you're changing the design anyways, as they've shown us they are, I think you can come back. I don't think you're too far off. You want everyday categories. Groceries and gas are good everyday categories. I think you got to do a little bit more because the competition has really passed these cards by. So I do think we will see them again. Total speculation on my part, but I do think we will. The Cash Magnate card, again, simple enough. I think you got to bring it back as a 2% card. I don't think you have to get crazy with it. Everyone's got a 2% card, right? Citi, the double cash is the most famous one. The active cash is out there. SoFi's got a 2% card. Fidelity's got a 2% card. Everyone's got a 2% card. You gotta have everyone respectable tier and higher. The ones who don't, they have a gimmick behind it. Bank of America, yes, but Preferred Rewards, it's supposed to get it higher, right? Chase, no, but again, it does more and it's supposed to fit into the the trifecta deal, right? So I do think, as much as American Express hates cash, you got to have one, because I just don't think you want every product to cost some money. That's a hard way to get customers in. Now, the last argument you can make against them bringing things back is, well, hey, we do so well with paid customers. Why do I want to give anything away for free? That's also entirely possible, and I could believe that argument as well. I think it's a bad move, but you could do it. You can say, no, we're getting rid of the free stuff. People trip over themselves to give us money for these overpriced cards. They'll keep doing it. Why give them the free option? So I could see that. But more likely, I think you come in with an everyday line that at least starts to play better with the core card that you want to sell, so you have a path to move people up. Just like Chase moves people up, the freedoms are easy, they make a lot of sense, but look at that, there's a massive tie-in to the Sapphire line because it's really easy to earn ultimate reward points on a Flex and an Unlimited and move them to the Sapphire cards, right? Same thing. So there you go. I know you can accuse me of hating American Express down below. I think this is a chance they can redeem themselves and really strengthen up the product line. So I do hope we see them again. But again, we'll of course keep an eye on it for you. But anyways, guys, that has been the news. Of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. We're posting content just like this every single week. Of course, right back every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And of course, every single day over on ProfitableContent.com, which is the channel's blog that's always linked down below for you. We post news stories just like this as they happen. We have plenty of credit card offers. Nothing from the everyday line, wouldn't you know it? But if you want to check out some Chase cards, we've got the Inc. 900s over there, I believe. Those are good as anything. And of course, we have plenty of bank promotions as well. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.